Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Cancer energy. And for this round, we're going to use the T-card deck, and we'll see what kind of message we get from it. Okay, we have Dark Man, dealing our relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. And sometimes I think that doesn't necessarily have to be true. The more the dark man can be it, and it doesn't even have to be a man, because we all take action in masculine energy. So it could be someone who is kind of in shadowy energy, operating from pride and ego. We're going to read it from a couple different perspectives. See who's harnessing this energy in a high vibe way and who's not. Then we have the flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. The horse. Short journey. Bridge. Successfully overcoming a problem. Chain of events that will affect your life. And the reason for the reading is the table in reverse. Hard work ahead. So apparently, for those people that are on high vibe energy, they are not going to, they're going to have like smooth sailing. And the other people might take the easy way out, thinking if they operate from their shadow, but they're being warned, if they listen to their ego, it might be a short journey where they might get what they want, and they might think they've successfully overcome their problems, but there is a chain of events that will affect your life. And when a card is in reverse, it can mean extreme. So I kind of think the people who put in the work and effort, maybe even to deal with your shadow nature and love yourself and believe in yourself and cross that bridge kind of, to free yourself from your fears and your insecurities and your pride and your ego, to be free, that, things will work out for you. Let's go ask about the dark man here. Okay, we had a card flip right away. Let's see what it is. Okay, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Hangman because of the Three of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So I think high vibe people are holding back from people in their life who are unwilling to see things from anybody else's perspective. And you might know some people that harness some shadowy Capricorn and Pisces energy. They don't have to be those sun signs, but they're just people who don't really open up. They're unwilling to look at life from any other perspective. They could have a very worldly perspective and, operate more from their ego and their worldly nature, and they're defensive to moving forward to look at life any differently. And then there's other people in the world who are holding back from those type of people because they've been enlightened to the truth, and that they need to turn their back on these people who are either all about themselves or all about the world, because you've seen life from a higher perspective and you want your dreams to come into reality. And, the Queen of Swords is Aquarius energy, and the feminines in tarot can talk about our emotional state. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female. But, we could have expected our dreams to come into reality with certain people. But if those people are holding back and kind of acting like stubborn, the Hangman can be about people who are trying to prove a point. Like, it's all about me, and I'm going to be defensive to you. And if you're not willing to do it my way or the highway. And I was like, okay, I've seen the truth of it. So those people are going to live their life from maybe a more worldly. Did I even tell you we were doing a Cancer reading? Yeah. So, if you're a high vibe Cancer person, and you have hope and faith and belief and love, and you like to be loving and giving and nurturing and supportive in relationships, you'd probably like to be in relationships with other people. But everybody harnesses all the zodiac sign traits and characteristics. But do they harness them in a more worldly, shadowy way or a more loving way? We all have this dualistic nature, and we've all got free will. And the people who even if you're in a relationship, if you know people in your life who are kind of stubborn, prideful, greedy, materialistic, bossy, controlling, emotionally defensive, emotionally cold, you're leaving those people to live their life. Peace be with you. But you're moving on because you have a different dream than they have. And you're either moving forward with the people in your life who are on the same page as you, needless, and you might be communicating with some new people that you think are more on the same page as you. Let's see. Let's tell us about the flag. Yeah, the flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards, okay? These two cards came out because of the Ten of Swords. Basically, if you lower your standards, you're going to be sabotaging yourself. When we don't take action in our life, treating ourselves with love and respect and treating other people with love and respect, and we kind of give in to our more shadowy nature. I just want to feel better now. I think I know better than my intuition. I want what I want. And we take kind of impulsive, immature, prideful, egotistical, indulgent action in our life, or we indulge other people in their shadowy behavior. All we're going to do is learn a really hard lesson. So do not be tempted to lower your standards. And if you know and have known people who harness shadowy Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Aquarius energy, that they're not willing to detach from their old ways of being, then this is over. So let it be over and cut people out of your life who harness these energies in a shadowy way. Five of Swords and the Temperance card. People, again, in shadowy Aquarius energy who have mental conflict about detaching from the past because they are kind of more motivated by the world and being defensive to looking at life differently and kind of being more vulnerable and authentic and loving in relationships, And so they just try to balance out their emotions about the fact that they choose to live more from their mind than their heart and that they don't choose love. And when they get in relationships with people, they might be people who kind of want to win at all costs, and that it's all about ego and image or all about them. And they want to be in relationships with other people who will just balance out their emotions about the fact that their dream isn't going to come into reality with them. It's going to be that other person's dream because people who are in shadowy energy don't work cooperatively with people. There's no equal give and take. They have fear, they have insecurities, they're emotionally defensive, they're immature, they don't want to open up, they don't want to freely give and receive love, they could be defensive, fearful of being hurt, so they kind of want to be indulged in a relationship and they want to find someone who will just balance out their emotions about being in a relationship with them and basically sabotage your own dreams. And you're done being in relationships with people who are like that. So do not be tempted to lower your standards. If anybody, the Queen of Swords can be about communication. If someone communicates to you that, I don't know, they want you to stop moving forward and hold on to them and work with them to have a dream come into reality, promising that all your worldly dreams will come into reality. You'll have the status, you'll have the image, you'll have the money, the whatever, Our dualistic nature is represented by the devil in our shadowy nature and God in our high vibe nature. And there's some people that align with their more worldly view of life and they want you to stop what you're doing to come get in a relationship with them. That would be the shadowy people. Now, there might be some loving people in the world who might communicate to you, but they're going to kind of hold back until they get illuminated to the truth about maybe why you ended something. If this is someone that you could have dated before or you had the potential to date and you didn't date them or you ended a relationship with them, they want to know the truth about why you could have ended a relationship with them. Or they just want, if they're not somebody who knows you really, but they see you, They could just even want to know, how did you free yourself? Because the tens are about completing a cycle in high vibe, and it's that you have seen the truth. You work through your fears, your insecurities, your self-limiting beliefs in order to free yourself to have a new beginning. And I think you're trying to communicate to other people in the world that if they keep aligning with their more fearful or insecure or being in relationships with people who sabotage and betray them or aren't just and fair and loving in a relationship, that, they're just gonna, the divine is there always trying to help people through their mental conflict to balance out their strong emotions about ending something. Some of you could have communicated to someone that you ended something and that you're moving forward in life to have a new beginning. And some of the people that you could have communicated with, they might end something they've been invested in or a way of living life or something that they've just been balancing out their emotions about being in, but feeling kind of backstabbed and betrayed, living more from their mind than their heart. And basically, you're telling people, if you are someone who lives more from your mind than your heart, and you hide that you kind of have a win at all costs attitude, or you're more about ego and image and money or indulgence or self-centered or egotistical, because that's what shadowy Aquarius, Five of Swords can be about. I'm not interested in being in a relationship with you. And if you're hiding that and just telling me, oh, I ended something, I'm ready to be in a relationship with you, it's not until I find out the truth of why you ended that relationship. Why did that relationship end? Because you don't want someone who wasn't willing to grow and mature themselves and was prideful and egotistical with someone else. Well, because that relationship ended, now I want to be in a relationship with you. It's hold on, bucko. I'm not going to invest in other prideful, egotistical people. I might want my dream to come into reality in the Three of Wands, but I'm not going to take action out of pride and ego. The Three of Wands can mean that you're attracted to someone, and you might like to have a new beginning with them, and you might like to work together with them in the Four of Pentacles. But with the Hangman and the Queen of Swords, it's I'm not going to go get in something else where I'm going to feel stuck and backstabbed and betrayed. I've learned a lot of life lessons from what I've went through in life, and I've looked at life from a higher perspective, and I've learned a lot of hard truths, and I've changed. And that's what some people don't know about you. There could have been some people in your life who were selfish and greedy and prideful and all about themselves and very materialistic and ego-focused and image-focused. And they could have thought by working together that you'd feel backstabbed and betrayed. And that maybe you would be tempted to lower your standards and run your own life off into the ditch. Maybe go have a shallow victory, And what they didn't know about you is that even though it did maybe cause you a lot of mental conflict to deal with some people who held back from you, operated from pride and ego, were harsh or cold or defensive or whatever, you balanced out your emotions about all of that to look at life from a higher perspective. And high vibe Aquarius energy of the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords is, I see the truth. When people are not working with me cooperatively and they're operating from pride and ego, I have a dream and I see my dream can't come into reality with them. We apparently have different ideas of how we expected our dreams to come into reality. And loving people choose to work together with people in a loving way, being just and fair and truthful and honest. And other people think, I could do that, but I think instead I'm going to try to manipulate you to get what I want. And I'm going to hold back from you, and I'm going to be stubborn, and I'm going to be prideful, and I'm going to be defensive to you, and I'm going to be all about myself. And I bet you won't love and believe in yourself. And what they didn't know about you, because this was hidden, was that you do believe in yourself and you do believe in your dreams and you work with the divine, because Sagittarius would be like a universe card in the tarot deck. You are someone who works with the divine to have the divine help you see life from a higher perspective, to put things in perspective, to have hope and faith and belief in your dreams, that if one dream doesn't work out, and that's not your dream type of relationship, to be in a relationship with someone like that, that you are able to balance out your strong emotions about things like that. And you're able to work through all your fears and insecurities about having a new beginning. Because when you work through all those things, that's when you drop it and you have the Ace of Swords. I've seen the truth. And the Five of Swords talks about, that you had an idea, you worked together with someone else, you thought it was going to be just and fair, you thought people were going to be truthful and honest and healing to bring the dream into reality, and then you saw that wasn't the case. And so you healed, meditated on the truth of it. Was this person acting in a loving, just, fair, kind, compassionate way, or was this person selfish, greedy, prideful, manipulative, bossy, controlling, all about themselves, or just has a much more worldly focus on life, and that's what drives and motivates them instead of love? And you work through all of that to complete a cycle. And when you complete a cycle, you're able to move forward differently and start a new cycle. Where the other people could have a problem doing that, they keep backstabbing and betraying themselves. Partly might be because they don't want to go live life differently. The Four of Pentacles talks about holding on to this way of living life. I view life this way. I'm motivated and inspired by these things. This is the truth. This is the way people should live their life. To live life differently, I'd have to be enlightened to seeing life differently, because the truth is what sets us free to live our life differently. And we have to face our fears and our insecurities of stepping outside of our comfort zone. And some people don't want to do that. Some people can be very prideful and egotistical. I refuse to look at life any other way. All there is the world. It's all about competing in the world. It's all about working with the world. It isn't about love. It isn't about listening to your intuition. And other people are just very prideful and egotistical, and it's supposed to be all about them, and that's their dream relationship. And if you're not willing to indulge them being stubborn and prideful and self-centered and bossy and controlling in a relationship, well, then they don't want to be in a relationship with you either. And they're going to go find someone else who will indulge them in their ego. And they thought, probably because they don't believe in themselves to ever step out of their comfort zone. Why do they even act this way? Probably because other people that they had tried to move forward with in life before kind of backstabbed and betrayed them, and they gave up on believing in their dreams. Oh, I'm not going to do love anymore. I can get hurt doing love. Nope, I'm going to make my life about the world, and next time I get in a relationship, I'm going to not open up, and I'm not really going to be authentic in a relationship, and it's going to be more about my wants and my needs and my lust and my greed, my pride, my ego, and it's going to be all about looking victorious and successful in the world. And if I have those things of the world, which, all these all these cards can kind of imply, Four of Pentacles and Capricorn energy is about people who put work and effort to kind of look victorious and successful in the world. And the Three of Wands is people who are expecting their dreams to come into reality, so it looks like things are working out their way. And the Queen of Swords, also represented by the star energy, is like, I look victorious and successful in the world. There's going to be other people, they think, who are going to want to be in a relationship with them, probably because of these things of the world that they have. I mean, they could be attractive, they could be charming, they could have money, they could have materialism, or they're just full of themselves and live in complete denial. Who knows? But they are not willing to put an end to that way of viewing life, because those things have such a hold on them, And really, why isn't everybody living their life free and open and loving? Because that's what really makes us happy, right? And it's the environment we thrive in. But some people have been hurt before. The dreams they thought were going to come into reality didn't come into reality. And sadly, some of those people decided, nope, that's it. I'm not doing love anymore. I'm going to have these things of the world. People want to be in a relationship with me because of those things, and then it's going to be my way. And if they want those things of the world, they're going to have to do it my way. And you said, no, thank you. And they did not think that you would be willing to detach from them and move on. So, in the horse card, we have a short journey and the bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. Okay. Oh, well, I did set my deck down upside down, so that's why this card's upside down. But I'm also going to get the card actually from the bottom of the deck, which is the Page of Swords. You chose to have that hopeful, believing nature. The Page of Swords is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini energy. You're aligned with hope and faith and belief and love. You've done the work to be balanced within yourself, to love and believe in yourself, so you're not taking action out of pride and ego and fear and insecurity, being tempted. You're like, nope, I'm not going to indulge in the game, basically. If there's people that are being selfish and greedy and prideful and stubborn or whatever, you go play your game. And I'm going to move on and detach. You have fun. And I'm not going to engage in the game playing. Because what kind of way of life is that to live, you know? I have hope and faith and belief in love and justice and fairness, and have hope and faith I can heal and that there's other healed people in the world, and trust in the divine to guide my steps. And I think what you did is you cut shadowy people again out of your life. 3 of Pentacles, or 3 of Cups. People who in their Cancer energy, they don't have to be a Cancer sun sign, but again, if you're someone who harnesses high vibe Cancer energy, you want to be in relationships with other people who work together with you cooperatively. And some people use their emotions manipulatively in a relationship in shadowy Cancer energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are. How do they use their emotions in homes and families and relationships? And some people use them manipulatively. And you cut those people out of your life because you want to work together with people. And what they didn't know about you is that you do harness high vibe Cancer energy, and you work from a foundation of love, and you love your own inner child nature of having hope and faith and belief. And they didn't think you'd do that. And the other reason this card came out is because of this card, which is the Page of Cups. You know, Pisces energy, the Hangman card and the Knight of Cups can be people who have illusions about what it means to be in relationships. They might love in a way, but they have this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship. Don't we get in a relationship and then, that's just it? We get in the relationship. We never have to grow and mature ourselves. We never have to detach from our mental conflict and balance out our emotions. Don't I get you in a relationship and then you just balance out your emotions about being in a relationship with me? Or don't I get in a relationship with someone to try to help me balance out my emotions? I have a lot of mental conflict. Or don't I get in relationships and you're supposed to, I don't know, look to me like I'm a savior in your life, and that's my illusion that you invest in me because, I don't know, you're codependent or immature, and then I can just emotionally manipulate you and indulge in a relationship with you. And you're like, I don't have illusions. I think you no longer have illusions about someone in your life who was manipulative. I think you've seen the truth. You work through all of it to get to the truth. And what they don't know about you is that you love it yourself, you believe in your dreams, harnessing high vibe Cancer and high vibe Pisces. And what they also might not know is that there might be someone that you view as being someone who is on the same page as you, someone else who you think has learned lessons in life, who's changed, because the fives in tarot can talk about change, and this card was the Five of Swords. I know. I'm just going to kind of flip them over at an angle. That way I know that they were tipped over. And other people who you think have learned lessons in life to see the truth, that there is more to this life than winning at all costs. It's just all about shadowy Aries, and people who harness shadowy Aries can be people where it's all about them, their wants, their needs, their lust, their greed. Very self-focused, instead of looking at life from a higher perspective and balancing out your emotions. That if you make your life just about yourself, very prideful, egotistical cards over here, and that's our human nature, right? We all want what we want, but are we going to be selfish and greedy and stubborn and prideful and self-centered and egotistical? Are we going to require that other people don't love and believe in themselves and believe in their dreams? That it's just supposed to be all about us being indulged in a relationship? That your life just like disappears? That would be like a 5 or 8 year old child who thinks they should be the center of everyone's universe, but they're adults, but they still think that, very immature. And, we all had to grow out of that. It's just that some people didn't, and you might know other people who you do think have learned lessons in life, and you might have communicated to those people that you'd like to be in a relationship with them, and you might have communicated your truth to some of those people. And if it's not people that you knew, it could be, you're speaking your truth to people you meet, that is kind of maybe with the short journey card here, that it can seem like in life that it was a long journey, but really in the grand scheme of things, it was a short journey. If it's going to get you to where you wanted to be, later in life, when you look back at it, some of those relationships in your past will eventually over time feel kind of like a blip, because it all was to help you get to where you needed to be in life. And part of that is to learn to quit being up in your head, and to believe in yourself and love your inner child enough, and detach from people in your life who are kind of immature in their thinking, logic, and reasoning, who have illusions about being indulged in relationships. So tell us about the bridge card here. The 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands, the 2 of Cups, the Magician card, because of the 10 of Wands, successfully overcoming a problem. We have 2 cards of Sagittarius energy here, the 8 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. And again, it's completing a cycle in high vibe energy. And Sagittarius energy is fire sign energy. It's about being motivated and inspired. In high vibe, it's letting love and your intuition guide you instead of your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego. And you were inspired to give it everything you had, to drop the burden, to have that new beginning, and to have that hopeful, believing nature again, to communicate with people in the world who you view in their Cancer energy as being aligned with love, who have hope and faith and belief in themselves that they can manifest their dreams into reality. And again, you might have communicated with some people that, I find you to be someone I can work with. And basically, regardless of if it's a romantic relationship or not, when we quit investing our time, energy, and effort into trying to encourage the people who've already shown us their truth, But we can stay in a relationship for quite a long time wanting to be in denial of the truth, and we kind of backstab ourselves, because when people show us the truth of who they are the first time, we should listen. When they're holding back, when they're stubborn, when they're prideful, when they seem to be more about themselves, when they're emotionally cold and detached, when they're kind of self-centered, or we see the fact that they're more motivated and inspired by the world or ego and image and money and materialism than love, but, we had lessons to learn about seeing the truth, and we had lessons to learn of letting our loving nature kind of run our life off into the ditch. And life's all about going out on these journeys in life to learn these lessons so that we can get more clear about our truth and not letting one aspect of ourself run our life off into the ditch. We need to take all, because in tarot we have the 4 elements, like the heart and the mind and the 3D world and our passionate creative nature. And we learn these lessons that when we just let our heart run our life, or just let our mind run our life, or let our more passionate, inspired, or lustful nature run our life, or our worldly nature getting caught up in the things of the world, it throws our life out of balance. And life, in order to have the things we want and really move forward in a victorious, successful manner, we need to love ourselves enough to maintain balance within ourselves so we don't let one aspect of ourselves become so more important than the other aspects of our life. Because if we let our heart run our life, it's kind of like the other 3 aspects of our life could kind of go in the ditch with us, and it throws us all out of balance. And it's, eventually to learn to make really good, loving decisions in our life, taking all aspects of ourselves into account. Tell us about a chain of events that will affect your life. The King of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, or no, the King of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Moon card. And the reason that came out is because of the 2 of Wands. Regardless of if it starts within ourself. Oh, let me turn the camera down here a little bit. It first starts within us, doing this work within ourself, holding back from people in our life who we think want to win at all costs, that are tempting us to lower our standards, who don't have our best interests at heart. They're not operating from a place of love and justice and fairness and character and integrity. And we hold back from them and hold our sword up to them to take time to look at life from a new perspective. High vibe Pisces in the Hangman is about, I feel like if I keep moving forward in this job, this friendship, this relationship, or the way I'm living my own life, that I'm going to sabotage myself, or they're going to sabotage me. This is not going to turn out good. So, and I've already seen the truth in the Queen of Swords. I need to protect my dreams of the 3 of Wands, and I need to take some time to look at life from a different perspective. And Pisces energy in the Hangman is about connecting with your emotions and your intuition to dream of what you wanted to have come into reality, and looking at life from that higher perspective, and having hope and faith and belief in yourself, having, not giving up on your dreams, basically. And when you held back from some people in the world who you kind of saw the truth didn't have your best interest at heart, they wanted you to kind of quit loving and believing in your dreams and maybe be in more codependent energy. Again, looking to them as, you need to be in a relationship with me. You better cling on to me. If you want your dreams to come into reality, you better stay stuck with me. And it's like, I don't think I want to stay stuck with you. So that's when some of you already did this. Some people are just doing it now, where they're like, nope, I'm not going to move forward with this. I am. And what the people, again, that they were in relationship with didn't know is that these people were doing work to love and believe in themselves. and to be inspired, just like you read books, you go to a movie, whatever, to be inspired to believe in yourself and to take this action to align within yourself, to not be manipulated by, the 10 of Wands can be all the things in the world that we want, but are we going to let the things in the world that we want, like, say, I am willing to move forward and give it everything I've got to wrap my brain around this game of life and maybe take some time holding back from some other people. So I'm not going to be indulging in some of the things I had been indulging in before. And I'm going to take this time. High Vibe Sagittarius is about higher education and wrapping your brain around this game of life. That if I don't learn to love and believe in myself, it seems like I keep getting in relationships with people who are like, oh, you don't love and believe in yourself? You're my kind of person. Let's date. Let's get married. Oh, you haven't learned to look at life from a different perspective? Are you kind of caught up in the world? Are you kind of worried about your stability and security? Perfect. Let's date. Let's get married. Oh, you haven't learned to love your inner child nature yet and be free? Because that's also High Vibe Sagittarius. Life's an adventure to be lived. I go through these life experiences to get clear about what my truth is. And if I'm not willing to detach from people in my life who I think want to win at all costs, are manipulating me, are kind of immature, kind of self-centered, that want me to settle for less than I deserve, I can stay in a little bit of hell with them. I might have all the things that the devil promises we could have with the world. But if I'm not doing it from love, it's like a resounding gong. It means nothing. I'm going to move forward feeling overwhelmed and manipulated. Just like keeping a job where they say, oh, it'll be great. You should work with us. You'll be a shining star. We all try to look at life from a higher perspective. We all try to hold back from being prideful or egotistical or bossy or controlling. And then you get in the job and you find out it was a complete lie. They're completely backstabbing and want to win at all costs and competitive and prideful and egotistical. And you're like, oh my God, if I keep moving forward with this, I'm going to feel completely overwhelmed. Am I willing to listen to my intuition? And our intuition was a gift given to us from the divine to help us navigate through difficult times. And some of you already did it. Some people are just doing it now, where they're listening to their intuition and they're saying, no, I am not moving forward with this the way it is. I'm going to speak my truth that if this doesn't work out, where people work cooperatively together in love and people get out of their ego and holding back and being prideful and egotistical or bossy or controlling, some people might not know, some of the shadowy people that are in a relationship might not know that when someone in their life is authentic and loving, they don't sometimes realize that could be the last time. And lately it's been coming up in the readings. It kind of reminds me of like Judgment Day and the Rapture. And I kind of think we're just playing out the different stories that we could come up with regarding the Bible and the devil and God. And, and I think we go through all these many kind of raptures and revelations in our life where we close out old chapters of our life to be like reborn and give birth to new things. But some people are unwilling to do that. And they don't realize sometimes, from the mouth of babes and children and people who are being authentic and honest, and they speak their truth and they say, I love you. I want to move forward with you in a loving relationship. I'm willing to give it everything I've got. And the other person's like, no, again. And they don't realize that's like the last day. Some people can be stubborn and prideful and egotistical, and they don't know, like in the blink of an eye, that one day the loving people in their life say, I've reconciled myself with this. I'm not in anger. I'm not in bitterness. I'm not in whatever. I can't move forward with this. I love you. I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And I'm going to go move forward and work with the people in the world who treat me with love and respect, who are motivated and inspired by love, who believe in themselves, who believe in their dreams. And those are the people I'm going to start investing my time, energy, and effort into. And chain of events that will affect your life. As we learn to take action in the world, offering love to our own worldly foundation, to love ourselves, to treat ourselves with love and compassion and forgiveness for the lessons we've had to learn in life, and offer love basically to the world and other people in our life that maybe haven't won this spiritual battle within themselves to get out of their fear or their insecurity or their emotionally defensive or their self-centered materialistic ways of living. I wish y'all peace. I'm moving into unknown territory. And in the moon card, again in Pisces energy, I'm going to listen to my intuition. And I'm going to take... They've let go of the 3 of Wands. And they're down to the 2 of Wands. Realizing that the people in their life who choose to hold back from being enlightened to the truth, that relationships are supposed to be about free willingly choosing love. Not being selfish and greedy with your love. And who, whatever, they realize that they can't have a new beginning with those people. And they're not going to take inspired action towards those people anymore. And they're giving it everything they've got to have a new beginning because they have a dream. And they're putting in all this work to love and believe in themselves, to drop the burden, which would give them the Ace of Wands, to take action on their dreams, to bring their dream into reality. Offering love to other people in the world who listen to their intuition, who believe in their dreams, who take action in love and work together with people cooperatively, listening to their intuition. And the last one, table, hard work ahead. But it's in reverse. So, when you let love and intuition guide your life flows much more smoothly. If we were to do a tarot reading just on shadowy energy and why people are in shadowy energy, the door to shadowy energy is wide, just from people who have their fear and insecurity to people who are kind of petty and envious and jealous to people who are manipulative or immature. And then, you got the narcissistic, abusive, it goes on and on. And for any of us to get, once we learn to love ourselves, it is being in a place of peace and balance within yourself, because it's realizing that other people have their own free will, and the people who've won the battle within themselves to be just and fair and loving and encouraging and supportive are, and the people who haven't aren't, and we don't take it personally and get in our ego about it. That person was unjust, that person was unfair, that person was unloving, that person was snarky or petty or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's where they're at. We don't control other people. So it's not like being in our ego about it. It's like going out and spreading the good news, finding the people who are receptive to being in a mutually respectful, kind, considerate, loving relationship. And the people who are open to that will be open to it. And the people who aren't. And you wish them peace. So tell us about no hard work ahead. 9 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the High Priestess in reverse. Because in the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Cups walks away from the 7 of Cups. Some of you particularly could have walked away from someone who harnesses some shadowy Scorpio energy, which can be people who like to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface, and they could live a more superficial life and more caught up in the ego and image of the world, and that's where they derive their sense of worth and value by what they wear and how much money they have, and that's anyway. And they could be people who prefer to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface, because shadowy Scorpio can be about being emotionally shallow and superficial. It can also be about people who are intimidating and controlling and narcissistic, and people act like private detectives in relationships. And just people who are caught up in the illusion of the world Because it takes time to become enlightened to the truth, and we all have lessons learned. So not everybody has to be shadowy. It's just that some people are just still caught up in the illusion of the world and caught up in their fear and their insecurities and stuff. And you're no longer an illusion about it. And you've learned to love yourself. The Eight of Cups is walking to the Nine of Cups, which is becoming more independent, learning to fill your own cup emotionally so you're not looking to the world for your sense of worth and value and to emotionally fill your cup. It's like, I know how to love myself and believe in myself. I'm not caught up in the fear and the insecurity and the illusion. High vibe Nine of Cups and Pisces energy would be people, your cup overflows. You can offer love and peace and encouragement to people, and, your cup overflows. And you want to be in relationships with other people who are like that. So you're no longer up in your head about either someone you had been a marriage partner to, someone you had wanted to be a marriage partner to, someone who you thought would be emotionally nurturing and loving and supportive, because they could have harnessed their high priestess energy, which is Cancer Pisces energy in a shadowy way. Again, they can be people who use their intuition kind of in a shadowy way to try to manipulate people to get what they want in a relationship. And it's like, I don't want to deal with people who are like that. Or people who are really in a mental prison about the world or money or materialism or wanting to be in a relationship more for money or materialism or status or image secretly, but they turn their back on listening to their intuition and they live more from their mind and their heart, and they might be more calculating in a relationship than loving. Or you might have known somebody who wasn't willing to move forward with you because they're still hung up on someone from their past. It's like, okay, if you're still in your emotions about someone from your past, I see the truth of it and I wish you peace. And you're not someone I can have my dreams come into reality. Now, how are shadowy people going to use this energy, or just more worldly focused? There are some more worldly focused people in the world. Well, yeah, just caught up in the illusion of the world, the most important thing. So the dark man, when we all take action in masculine energy because our emotional nature is kind of like our hidden realm, we can present ourselves any way we want to in the world, and people don't know the truth of who we are emotionally. So I would interpret the dark man as someone who's male or female, who's operating more from their egoic nature, and they're in their shadow energy. And they are people who hold back from being enlightened to the truth. They don't want to see the truth, that it is about justice and fairness and love and being loving and giving and receiving love. You can get hurt doing love, and some people don't want to do that. And some people always expected to live a more worldly focused life and get in relationships with people where other people were more motivated by the world. So just like you could have felt betrayed being in a relationship with people like that, they could have felt betrayed by you. Because if that's how they've always viewed the world, and maybe the people they hang out with or the people they grew up with all live their life like that, it's like, why is this not good enough for you to stay in a relationship with me? There's lots of people who would stay in a relationship for those reasons. The only thing is, though, when you start to heal and love yourself and be more willing to put yourself out there in the world differently, it's kind of like you're growing and maturing. Again, just like what you do from age 15 to 18 to 21 to 25, you grow and mature yourself, and you put away some more of your more fearful ways or immature ways to face some of your fears and insecurities and move forward in life. These people got to a certain point in life, which could have just been, I got to 25 and I got a job, I'm able to get married, I'm good. And they never planned to grow and mature themselves anymore. Why would I have to do that? I'd have to put an end to some old ways of being. I don't want to put any end to those things. I don't want to move forward in life any differently. I'd have to kind of be more bold and brave and confident within myself. I'd have to offer some love to my foundation. I'd have to work through some of my fears and insecurities that I have. Why do that when I can live my life and have money and status and image and be in a relationship and keep up with the Joneses and I look victorious and successful. Well, that can just be a difference. Some people are motivated and inspired to, they don't want to carry around the fears and the insecurities and some of the self-limiting beliefs they have with them forever. And other people are fine carrying it around forever. They could operate from their ego and just be defensive in the world. I don't want to deal with it. And other people are motivated and inspired to deal with it. So anyway, they could be mad that you ended a relationship with them and that you love and believe in yourself and that you are brave enough to step out of your comfort zone and listen to your intuition, that you aren't caught all up in your head about the world and hiding from the world, that you do make, they make their life and hide from the world, that they might make their life more about the things of the world because they have fear of stepping outside their comfort zone and being more authentically themselves in the world and doing the jobs that they love, being in the relationships with people they really love, because then you have judgment. And when we're in our shadowy energy, it can be really, if we haven't learned to love ourselves and free ourselves, we can be really afraid of other people judging us. And that's when we're kind of in our ego. And in high vibe, you freed yourself from that. I deserve to live my authentic life, to be in the career fields I really love, not stay in careers that might pay me a lot of money, but I hate. Stay in relationships with people I don't love because I'm in my ego and we got the image and we got the status, but, it's not what I really love. High vibe people is like, I got one life to live. I want to go be with the people who I can have deep, meaningful relationships with, who are inspired to be free, to look at life as an adventure to be lived, to be loving, to be nurturing, to be kind and giving. And other people are like, oh my God, I could get hurt doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make my life about the world. And if I have those things of the world, other people who don't love and believe in themselves will be willing to stay in a relationship with me. And we'll both put an end to balancing out our emotions about the fact that we have mental conflict, that we didn't kind of love our inner child nature enough to believe in our dreams, and that we're moving forward in our more immature nature inspired by the world. And we might get in a relationship to create an illusion that we're moving forward in the world too. And look at me, I got in a loving relationship. But in shadow, the moon can be, I'm just creating an illusion that this is my dream relationship and that the people or the job that I have is my dream relationship. But it's really because I'm really stressed out about money and materialism or status or image, or the fact that I was kind of prideful and egotistical or bossy and controlling with loving people in my life and they walked away and I wasn't willing to speak the truth. I tried to put an end to the truth. I didn't want people to know that I was maybe stubborn and selfish and prideful and self-centered and thought I could manipulate a loving person in my life, and it didn't work and it backfired and those people moved away. But because I still wasn't willing to speak my truth, I moved forward and got in relationships with other people that I'm now trying to manipulate into being in a relationship with me so that I can look like I have it all in the world. But I might be repeating the same old pattern with the next person I get in a relationship with because I'm fearful of opening up and speaking my truth and being more bold and brave and confident. And instead, I align and hold on to my illusion that I can keep operating from my pride and ego and everything will work out fine. But I just don't think it will work out fine because we'll either settle for something that's an illusion, probably feeling overwhelmed, probably in something that really stresses us out, but because we're not willing to walk away and we decide, no, I think I know better, I'm just going to keep indulging in the things of the world. Well, it's just like how people can indulge in alcohol or drugs, instead of loving, because again, things of the world can be enjoyed, but they're supposed to be enjoyed just like relationships and things from a foundation of love. That way you don't give those things so much power in your life that it drives your life off into the ditch. But when we haven't learned to love ourselves and we indulge in those things in the world to feel better, and I think kind of the hidden epidemic in the world is greed and ego. It wrecks lives too, just as devastatingly as alcohol, because just like alcohol or drugs that they're using to feel safe and secure and provide them stability and security that they want and to make them feel better and make them feel happy, enough is never enough. And they're willing to wreck relationships and sabotage loving relationships because some of those people got in relationships with people who were willing to kind of give up on their dreams to work together with them. And they thought they were all going to move forward, putting in work and effort to bring this dream into reality. But then some people could have become overwhelmed that they were having to grow and mature themselves, which they didn't think was going to happen in the relationship. And also because they were kind of more tempted to just live a life of illusion and make their life about, I don't have to grow and mature myself. If I look victorious and successful in the world, people will still view me as being victorious and successful. And if I let this relationship go and I turn my back on them and I let them move forward, I think I can go find someone else who'll be willing to get in a relationship and I'll still look like I'm victorious and successful. For some of those people, they went and did that and it didn't work out the way they thought and they got backstabbed and betrayed. Why did that happen? Because they have some growing up to do. And the divine was trying to get them to be inspired to love and believe in themselves and deal with their fears and insecurities so they wouldn't keep dealing with that. But some of them are like, no, don't want to do that. Short journey. The Five of Swords can be someone, it's like a shallow victory. I want what I want. That's the Aries energy. I want what I want. And I'm not willing to wrap my brain around this game of life and put in this work and effort to love myself and listen to my intuition. I want what I want. I have fear. I have insecurity. I can feel overwhelmed. I know. I'm going to quit moving forward with these people. I'm going to end that relationship. And there's someone back here who might already look like all their ships are coming in, all their dreams are coming into reality. I know. I'll go get in a relationship with them. And shadowy Five of Swords can be someone who kind of really wants to win at all costs. And it's really just about them. And so they could have went and gotten that relationship. But then that person could have been defensive to them. Some of those people could have just been operating out of pride and ego. I could have communicated with you and told you, you should end a relationship with them. You should come back with me. We could have our dreams come into reality, but really I was operating out of my pride and ego. And once you backstab the loving people in your life and they moved on, yeah, then I'm going to backstab you. Because I'm kind of immature. I just wanted a shallow victory. I gave in to temptation. And now I'm going to move on to the next person that doesn't know the truth of who I am, and I'm going to present myself as loving to them. Whoever's got more money, more status, more image, or builds my ego, that's all I'm out for. And some of the people who got manipulated by someone like that maybe doesn't want to see the truth that they were tempted by the devil, basically. And now they could feel overwhelmed because the loving people in their life have moved on. So now they could be trying to create an illusion with someone else thinking that's the answer to their stress and their anxiety about how things went out. The truth would set them free if they would tell the truth. It doesn't mean people will get back in relationship with them, but oh my gosh, to admit that, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, just like other people who've driven their life off into the ditch for different reasons. Like, yeah, I really got caught up in drugs or alcohol or, thinking relationships was the answer to my problems. And I really blamed everyone else and I probably acted awful and, but I learned the lessons I was meant to learn from it. And then you're happy almost that it happened in your life, even though it was really painful at the time, but it helped you see the truth that you needed to learn to love yourself. So what's coming up for the high vibe people in high vibe Cancer? Well, I think with the Ten of Swords, you're completely finished a cycle and ready to have a new beginning. And part of that is because you've completely cut out aligning with this shadowy energy and other people who harness that energy in a shadowy way. People who harness shadowy Aquarius energy, you're no longer caught up in the illusion of the world. It is about having hope and faith and belief in your dreams. And some of the people that you could have at one time looked up to and admired and you thought, your dreams could come into reality with them, you completely see the truth that you can't. And I think there's going to be other people in the world who could have not been showing, or people that you meet or people that might be someone who views you as someone their dream could come into reality. But before they could tell you that and move forward with you, they had to do this work within themselves to either detach from what they needed to detach from or work through all of this within themselves emotionally to get out of their more worldly view of life and, move forward in a more loving, authentic way, or get out of their ego or their defensive nature. What do people in some shadowy Cancer energy not see coming up in their life? So yeah, I think for you high vibe people, some people are doing that work and other people will be communicating with you that they want to move forward with you and offer love to work together with you because they believe in the same dream that you believe in, which is having hope and faith and belief from a foundation of love instead of the world. Okay, for the shadowy people, we have the Five of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Judgment card. And the reason is because of the Eight of Swords. I think what the shadowy people don't see coming, that as long as they're in shadowy energy, I think they'll have people who are willing to move forward with them. It's kind of like, God can use anybody in the world. God can use us at whatever stage of life we're in to try to help other people. Just like we might have had some people who hadn't learned to, when we were young, we were all kind of immature and reckless and, whatever. Well, we could have been a catalyst in someone else's life in the past when they were more mature than we were, and it helped them get clear about their truth and the type of people they wanted to move forward when we were more immature and reckless. And so everybody can serve a purpose in other people's lives to catalyze them to move forward, is what I'm saying. So I think some people might be willing to move forward with them because they also haven't learned to love themselves, and they might have some fears and insecurities about love and if their dreams will come into reality, and hoping, some of them, that if they get in a relationship with this person, that the dream will come into reality, because if the person who comes to get in a relationship with them, if they have hope and faith and belief and love, this whole cycle is going to repeat itself again for this person. And if they stubbornly refuse again to hold themselves accountable, eventually the people who get in a relationship with them again are going to feel in a mental prison about if this person is in a relationship with them because of love, or if this person wears a false mask and just is more about them. and not being held accountable for their actions. And the other people are going to call judgment on them, and the other people are going to move on. And that's where some of the people, when we need to grow and mature ourselves and get our life out of the ditch and treat people the way we want to be treated and mature ourselves, will repeat this pattern and probably align with other people who are in the same boat we're in. And it's not going to probably end the way we thought, because unless both people are willing to do that work within themselves. But, kind of just depends on, some people aren't motivated and inspired. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. Some people might be very all about themselves, or very prideful, egotistical, stubborn, and self-centered. And it's like, no. Some people, it's like, if I get in a relationship with anybody who eventually finds out I have fear and insecurity, that I have a lack mentality, that I wear a false mask, that I am kind of indulging in the relationship for my own wants and needs and lust and greed and pride and ego and status and image, if they ever see the truth, well, I'm going to be in a mental prison, but I'm not willing to do the work to get out of any of those things to free myself. So that relationship ends and they decide again, yep, let's go find someone else that we can go present ourselves as loving to, tell them we're in a mental prison because we were left out in the cold, and present ourselves as loving to someone else who has a dream. And then that person will put in work and effort to get in a relationship with them. And eventually it happens again. For others of them, they might end up getting in a relationship with someone like themselves. And they might then, because God's always trying to get people to see the truth, I think, because God wants everybody to be free. And, so God will send loving people into people's life. And if people reject them, then God might, because they're kind of more aligned with their shadowy energy. So they might even reject any loving people who come towards them. No way, man, stay away. I've already done that. I want to move forward with other people who have a lot of fear and insecurity and feel left out in the cold. And then I'm going to present myself as loving to them. And then they'll look to me like I'm their dream person. But what they might not know is someone might come towards them presenting themselves as loving. Really, they're in a mental prison. And really, they like to be the boss. And they don't like to be held accountable for their actions either. And then this person will get in a relationship with someone where it's like, oh my gosh, seems like my dreams are going to come into reality. And if they keep moving forward with them, they might have all those things of the world, but they're in a mental prison because the person they could have gotten in a relationship with isn't really very loving or nurturing or creative or inspired, and doesn't really love and believe in themselves, and has a lot of fear and insecurities. And so then they could be bossy and controlling of them. And maybe that will be the thing to finally free them. But don't hold your breath, because if any of you have ever driven your life off into the ditch, it can take decades to heal, to get to a different place in your life. And if you were loving and encouraging and supportive to someone, it's different if it's friends and siblings and adult children and parents. We can extend a lot more grace to them. But to get back in a romantic relationship with someone who didn't, well, it depends. If they just had lessons learned, that's one thing, kind of immature or fear or whatever. But if it was people who are prideful, egotistical, self-centered, bossy, controlling, those people are volumes behind you, and they probably have no interest in educating themselves to catch up with you. So don't hold your hope out for those people. Odds are the best predictor of past behavior, as Dr. Phil says, is past behavior. So the other people only maybe operate from their worldly foundation because they're in a mental prison about maybe connecting in with their emotions and their intuition, and they just prefer to live more from their mind and their heart. And they just like to wear this false mask, I'm a loving family person, to get people to get in relationships with them. And they probably don't want to be held accountable for their actions. So they'll probably keep repeating that pattern and just creating an illusion in the world and indulging themselves in relationships for as long as they last. And when anybody really wants a dream to come into reality, then they walk away and they go find someone else to indulge themselves in. So there you go. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.